Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear me. I am Jalon Strong, the Essential Millennial Realtor of Dreams to Keys Realty. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties with StreamYard, but we're going to get back into the swing of things with our bingo for future home ownership. And this is for anyone that is looking to buy a home either now or in the future. So we've gone through 6 steps already, and today we're going to go through step 7. First, I want to welcome everyone to this channel. If you have not seen this channel before or you're not a subscriber, make sure that you hit that subscribe tab, hit that link, become a subscriber. You're not going to regret it. You're going to encounter different material on this channel that will help you to understand home ownership from the buyer's perspective. We'll also get into some seller's perspective things, and that comes with the certifications that I have gathered from being a home finance resource, a pricing strategy advisor, and then I just advanced in another area where I think I have that on my intro video, where we're now working through the process of home efficiency and what you may also term or hear as a energy efficient home, or a there's different terms for it, a clean home, but we'll talk about more of that in the future as we advance through those topics on this channel. So if you're interested in anything like that, anything related to home ownership, you definitely want to make sure that you're a subscriber. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you can click all so that you don't miss anything that we post anytime we go live. And you'll also see different things that I'll put in the description of this video that I've put in other videos as well, such as our link, which is also moving about at the bottom of the screen. It says beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. And of course, while I'm doing the video, there's lawn service going on outside. So hopefully you all can hear me just fine. But if you can, I can. First, we're going to talk about the link in bio or link in the description box, highlight of the week. We do this every live, and this live, we're going to talk about the link that says preferred lender. So as a realtor, I have several preferred lenders. These are mortgage loan officers, mortgage brokers, they can be mortgage bankers. They are experts in the financial realm of home ownership. And I've created those relationships with these individuals, and they also may work for a company. So they are what I would call my preferred lenders. So if you're someone that becomes a customer or even a client, I'm definitely going to point you in their direction. Why? Because the process of home ownership, first we have to know where we're starting from. What are we looking for? And from a financial perspective, we need to know a price point. And so having that conversation, getting that established with the financial experts in this realm, that can help us to determine what your price point is. So we're not just going out looking at homes that we're being smart, we're being strategic, and we're planning things. So the first step is to find out where you can buy a home and not be quote unquote house poor, if that makes sense. We don't want you to get into a home and then end up foreclosing on the home. We want you to be able to live in the home or whatever your plan is with that home without difficulty financially. So preferred lender is a tab that you will see at the link. Like I mentioned before, it's moving about at the bottom of the screen, and I'll also add it to the description box for this video. You may see it on other videos as well. It is beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. There is a link that says preferred lender. It will take you to the resource for one of my preferred lenders, and it will help you get in contact with them, get started with them, and also make sure that you're ready when you are ready to start your homeownership journey, specifically on the buyer side, or even if you need refinancing options or other things like reverse mortgage, that you have a point of contact from a financial expert on the homeownership side that can help you with that. So if that's anything that you're interested in, even if you think you want to be a client of mine, you can click that link today. You can click it right now and you can get connected to one of my preferred lenders right now. So if that's something you're interested in, please do that when you can. Another link that's in the same site that I'm mentioning, beacons.ai/Shalon Strong, is one of the newest links because it's the newest venture that I have started on. Back in April, I started a company called Crown First Lady. And this is a company where I have customized a blend of essential oils that I have been using on myself for years. And I was asked at one point by close family and friends if I could give them some. And essentially from that, it has led now to a business where we're doing very good in our sales. And I'm happy to see that people are buying our 4-ounce bottles in multiple numbers. I've been able to use the mailer boxes. We have a 4-ounce and a 1-ounce bottle. So if you need like a travel size or you just want to sample it, the 1 ounce would be what I would suggest. And then if you are comfortable with it and you're ready to get a larger size, the 4-ounce bottle is available. So you can go to the link in the description box or the link moving about at the bottom of the screen. You can also go to the website directly, which is on the screen, crownfirstlady.net, to place any order. And then I will make sure that your package is prepped, sent off myself, and make sure that you get it. So I thank everyone that has been supportive of this venture, who has bought a oil or who has promoted it by word of mouth. I thank you all so much, and I'm so happy to see the success. And also, I would love to hear reviews from those of you who have purchased it or will purchase it in the future. So please leave a review on the site as well if you would like. It is very helpful to do so. All right, now we're going to get into our topic. I am going to share my screen. And I think there's a little delay on what I'm saying and how the video is coming off, which is a typical problem I have with StreamYard that I've reported to them several times. So to kind of minimize that distraction, I'm going to use my avatar. So I'm going to go off screen. And then let's pick up where we left off with the Bingo for Home Ownership series. All right, we are on step 7. We've covered steps 1 through 6, starting from reviewing credit. Then we assessed budget, scheduled a consultation with myself with Dreams to Keys Realty, through Dreams to Keys Realty, and then getting pre-approved, creating a wish list, hiring me, if that's something that you're interested in. I am the Essential Millennial Realtor. And then we're now at step 7, where we are shopping for a home. So what does it mean to shop for a home? Here are the objectives of what you'll gather from what I present today. And of course, if you have made it through step 6 and you've hired me, then of course, we're going to go more tailored in our discussions one-on-one on what it means for you. From this presentation, this live, you're going to be able to understand the process for shopping for a home when working with me, and understand how to assess the home during the tour. So there's several things that you need to think about before seeing any home. So 1, there's documentation that we need to make sure is completed. And before I even show you, like if you become a client of mine, before I even show you properties on paper that you would review and decide which ones that you want to see, we need to establish that I am your realtor. I am your real estate agent. I am representing you. And these are services that come with that representation. So if you're looking for this assistance from a real estate agent, from a realtor, then be prepared that there's documentation to that. So no longer should you expect, I think those days are long gone, where you just call up someone that you know is a real estate agent or a realtor, and then you go see a property that next day or that weekend. We are in a time where that should never be happening. And we all need to get comfortable with that. And there's a number of reasons why over time that has become the norm. First of all, when you establish a relationship, you're also establishing that there's no other party outside of this relationship. So you should only be making a relationship, especially if you're completing an exclusive buyer brokerage engagement agreement, which says that you as a client are only working with me as a real estate agent when we sign that documentation. Then that solidifies that you should not be working with any other real estate agent to find a property at this time. Now, there can be some other things that you may be experiencing. Let's say if you are someone who is in a business space and you may be looking for something commercial, of course, you need to have someone who's well-versed and an expert in the commercial side. I would not be that person for you. But if you're also looking for your residential side, then I can see how you may have two different real estate agents for two separate purposes based on their expertise. But when we're talking about the same line of home buying, we're talking about the same property type that you're looking for, you should only be working with one real estate agent at a time under the exclusive buyer brokerage engagement agreement. There are other types of agreements. This is the most typical because, as you may expect, most real estate agents want to know that they're not wasting their time, to be frank, working with anyone and then find out their work is in vain. I don't think anybody in any industry wants to complete work and be told that they aren't getting paid for their work. So we're establishing with this agreement that you are looking to me to represent you in the purchase of this property. And that exclusive buyer brokerage engagement agreement helps to solidify this is a one-on-one or client to agent relationship. And if you have any questions about what that means for you, what that could mean for you, then make sure that when you have those consultations, whether it's with me or with any other real estate agent, you ask those questions. Review the document. The agent should go with you as well, go through it as well to review it with you to make sure you understand it. But if you have follow-up questions before signing, make sure that you do it. Now, also there is, like, let's say you work with someone and you don't really think that you can continue to work with them, but you do like the properties that you saw under them. What you can find yourself in as far as a predicament with that is that if they've showed you properties and then you later go with another real estate agent and purchase that property, but they were the original agent that showed it to you, you can find yourself in some legal ramifications with that, where you would also owe commission or compensation. Compensation is the word. You would also owe compensation to that real estate agent that showed you the property initially. So that's another thing that, excuse me, that you or others may have heard people do in the past, that legally you can find yourself in some trouble or find yourself in a financial situation owing a real estate agent that you have terminated an agreement with, but then later bought the property they introduced you to. So that could be considered compensation you would be due to that agent. So make sure that before you sign any documents, you have consultation. Do not skip the consultation process with any real estate agent. Make sure that you're on the same page, you have the same mindset about this as far as the approach you want to take, and that they understand you. If you find yourself talking to a real estate agent and you feel like you're repeating yourself, they're not understanding what you're saying, they don't understand what you're looking for, they're not able to really help you get what you're looking for, they instead have more ideas of what they think you should have, those are red flags that's probably not the best real estate agent for you. They may be better suited for someone else, and you need to find who's best suited for you. So it's not just about because they have the title or because they do this job that they're the best suited for you. You have to figure that out because they're individuals too, and they have different approaches, different experience levels and expertise. And what's important to you may not be as important as you need it to be to any given real estate agent, but you need to find the one that views what you want in your home or in the property that you're looking to purchase as important as you view it. So I can go on a rant about that, as you can see, but let's continue on. So first, there's documentation. Second, there's strategies. So in the previous steps, we talked about non-negotiables or the wish list. And we need to know that when we go into these homes, that we know what we're looking for. What did you say that you needed as your non-negotiables? What did you say that you needed in your home for whatever the reason was? And make sure that it's there. So that may mean that we create a checklist, or that we talk with our lender or the preferred lender that I provide you or that you come up with or find on your own, because again, the lender is your decision, but you can receive recommendations on who could assist you with it. The ultimate decision of who you work with as a lender as well as your decision. Now, the lender could have strategies. They could say, yes, you can get into this home or get into a home in this price point in a number of ways, but the best way or the most advantageous way for you would be this strategy. And they would point maybe what loan program and all of that to kind of streamline how we're looking for a home. That's strategy. That's the best approach for you, keeping you in mind. And then they also may give information to us as your representing real estate agent to say, hey, when you're looking at a deal for the best interest of your client and their financial positioning, maybe consider, can you get any seller, can you try to negotiate for the seller to assist in this purchase at all? There are sellers that will do that, especially when markets are very tight and it's a long time on the market for a lot of homes. So there are some advantages to having a real estate team to make sure that their strategy being put in place even before you see a home. So first, documentation. Second, what am I saying? First, we got to have documentation. Second, we have to have strategy based on what we have discussed with the lender, what you have positioned as your non-negotiables with your wish list, and we can create a checklist from there. Third, we can talk about the homes that fit that. So then, as a real estate agent, I will do a search or searches and provide you homes that match closest to what you are looking for. We're talking about price point, we're talking about your non-negotiables, we're talking about location, whatever it was that you said is what you're looking for, what you want to have in a home. Keep in mind, if you're not building a home from scratch, that each home might be slightly different in some way from what you're envisioning. You may be envisioning a long list of non-negotiables, and you may find homes that don't have maybe half of what's on your list. And it's something that you would need to consider if the things that aren't on your list are things that you can modify the home to have, or if you want to reconsider your list and see if non-negotiables that aren't on that home are as critical as you initially thought they were. Sometimes we may find that the things that we considered non-negotiables, once we see particular homes, we'll say, well, I can kind of do without that, or that's not as critical as I thought because I enjoy all of these other things that it comes with. So keep in mind that you may need to go back and look at your non-negotiable list and revisit, are these things as critical as I initially thought they were? Are the homes that I'm looking at possibly, can they be renovated to allow me to have what it doesn't currently have? And am I willing to go through that process of the renovation? So there's a lot that you need to consider before, you finally write off a home or say that's not the home for you, if it meets that potential list. And a good real estate agent will tell you, there's homes that I want to show you, but I'll be honest, they don't have this, this, and this. Or I couldn't find homes that may meet all of your non-negotiable criteria, but I could find a lot that met this criteria. And that is realistic. So be open to the fact that your real estate agent is not going to be able to create a home for you, but they can show you what is available right now. And then, of course, you can try the option of building a home from scratch if you don't find any property that meets your standard. So that's an option too, if you're open to that. So those things help us to get, let me fix this because that's going to bug me. One second. All right. All right. Should you tour homes? Absolutely. If we're working together, if I'm representing you, somebody's got to see that home. I'm going to see it regardless. And I encourage you to see it. Why? Because I'm not the one living in it or the one that will be purchasing it. This is a big financial decision. For most of us, buying a home is the biggest financial decision you can make. And for a lot of us, the second biggest is probably student loan debt. So with the biggest financial decision that you're going to make possibly in your life, for many of us or some of us, yes, you need to see what you're purchasing, what you're signing all this paperwork for, what you have so many financial expectations about. You need to see it. And what you can notice if you've ever toured a home, even in the recent years, that there's so many things that can be done with images that you can't really trust the images fully that you see online. Just often are designed to bring you to want to see the home. But sometimes it's from different angles, and there's things that you can do to images that can enhance the view. So it's very important that you see the home, that you know what you're buying, that you see all the nooks and crannies. There's things to every home, and an inspector will tell you there's something there for every home, but you need to see it. Then you would want to have others see it, like an inspector. So, like it says here, pictures can be misleading. Looking at things in person makes a huge difference. And seeing the property allows you to picture yourself in it. A lot of times when you go through the property, you can say, oh, I can put this here, or where would this fit? Or is this big enough for all the things I have that need to go in this room? So you can kind of visualize it a lot better than a picture allows. So yes, we're going to tour homes. Yes, in person. Virtual tours are great. And I understand that from maybe from those who are like out of state and they can't always just go back and forth. But someone needs to see the property, and I'm definitely going to see it. And I encourage all of my clients to see the property with me. Benefits of home shopping. So the typical experience is that when you are touring the property as a private showing, no one else is there. The current owner should not be there. No other client should be there. Now, if it is a open house, yes, you're going to see other people that are interested in the home. But if you have a one-on-one showing of the property where I'm opening the door for you to see the property and locking it back, then it's just you as my client or the decision makers of this purchase. No homeowner should be present in the property, and you get that one-on-one time in that allotted time that has been determined for the property or that we have scheduled, and that's your time. House tours help to customize any potential offer. So like I said before we even see a property, before we even see potential properties, we're going to talk about price point, non-negotiables. What is the strategy from the lender? What's the best strategy that we could use for the best home program or loan program that would work for you. And so we have all of that in mind. So we already have prerequisites of how we're going to make our offer. And also that would include if you are looking to put down any earnest money, all of that. So we're going to talk about all of that strategy before we see a home. So all you're doing when you go through the house tour is you're checking off that checklist. You're confirming if this property meets your standards. If it does, the things that we have discussed, I'm going to confirm with you. If you're my client, I'm going to say, so when it comes to this offer, this is, the earnest money, this is how much you want to put down, this is this. And we're making sure that it's ready to go. So it should take less time to draft the offer and all of that because we've had all these conversations before. So at that point, it's just filling in the property address and those details to send the offer off. Benefits of home shopping also helps you to compare properties against your non-negotiables and to compare properties against each other. So if we're going to see multiple properties in a day, you can also get a feel of which home did you like the best. Did you like the first, the second, or the third home? I typically want to show my clients 2 to 3 homes at once. More than that could be hard to remember which one was which, and it can kind of get confusing on which property. So I try to do 3 homes on a touring day. So you can schedule more house tours in one day with this home shopping or house tour strategy. You can better compare the homes. What did you like about this one? What did you not like about this other one? Is there another approach we want to take to finding potential homes that combines the things that you did like and remove some of the things you didn't like? Do we want to come back and revisit the list of potential homes before we make an offer? There's so many things to consider. So it's really on you as the client to confirm what you like. And I'll ask as a real estate agent, I'll ask what they like, what they didn't like. I will remind them of different things just to point out if the non-negotiables are not there and just to confirm that they're okay with that. But there's several benefits of home shopping. So what are the next steps? Next, you want to review and sign documentation to establish a client-agent relationship. So at this point, step 7, you've already had a meeting with me. We've already had a consultation. You've spoken with the lender. You've been pre-approved. We reviewed budget, credit, all these things. And we talked at least once or twice. Now there's documentation that we need to review. And if you want to be my client, you would have to sign it before we go see any homes. Review your non-negotiables. Let me know what those are. Send me that list at this point in the steps. And you want to confirm the best approach from a financial perspective. So speaking with that lender and confirming the strategy. One thing that I think a lot of people might get confused is that if you get documentation from another expert in the real estate arena and you don't understand what that documentation is or how to interpret it, you need to go back to the person that gave it to you and they need to explain it to you. You cannot bring the financial documentation or documents that you receive from the lender and give it to your real estate agent and expect your real estate agent to explain what the lender gave you. The lender should be explaining what the lender gave you. The real estate agent should be explaining what the real estate agent gave you. So if you're confused about anything, it's, let's just say, frowned upon to try to show financial documentation to a real estate agent. Even though we have some knowledge, we are not overall experts are considered that lender. So make sure that you are asking the question, if you have any, to the individual person or company that provided you the documentation. So that's one thing to note. Now, can a lender and a real estate agent talk about the transaction? Of course. Can they talk about, what is needed to, as far as documentation that needs to go from the real estate agent to the lender? Let's say for the from the inspection, if we need to have any surveys, or if there's anything else that's needed, that maybe it's a situation of the lender being a client of someone else and needing documentation from the real estate agent, then that is fine. But when you are having the conversation with your lender and you're confused, and again, it is your choice who you choose as a lender. So if you have someone that can't communicate to you what your terms are, or what you're expected to do as a result of any loan program or option that they're offering to you or presenting to you, then I would encourage you to consider whether or not that is the best lender for you. You have the option to choose your lender. So make sure that you're choosing one that you feel comfortable with, just like choosing the right real estate agent. Another thing to do is determine the days of the week that could be best for home tours. Before we go on any tour, let your real estate agent know. And if I am the agent that you've chosen, let me know what days of the week work best for you, and also what times. So maybe Saturdays at a certain time. Maybe there's a day in the middle of the week that's at a certain time. Of course, those times have to be planned in advance. If you want a private showing, if it's not an open house, you would need to let your real estate agent know in advance so that it can be scheduled and approved. If there is a real estate agent on the opposite side representing the seller, then we need to make sure that we are putting in the documentation so the seller or seller's agent can approve the showing and the showing time. Because we, again, for the private showings, the private house tours, we want to make sure that no one else is in the property but you. So you have that one-on-one time with your agent. If I'm your agent, I would love to be your agent if you're in the Georgia, Gwinnett County, DeKalb County area, to review the property, see the property without anyone else being there. All right. So if you are someone who is interested in buying a property this year, then you definitely need to make sure we are connected. I represent buyers or sellers in Gwinnett and DeKalb counties of Georgia, and you can schedule a free consult with me at dtkrealty.com/beacons-me. You can find that link as well at the link moving about at the bottom of the screen called beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. So if you are someone who thinks you want to buy or sell a property, but you're not in my area, I can still assist you to find you a real estate agent or real estate broker in your area. Please text the word referral to 770-758-5641. We'll contact you and start the referral process, which does involve documentation, giving us permission from you to find a real estate agent for you for the services you need. For everyone, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Follow us on other social media channels. We're on several. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as you see, as well as TikTok, Substack, and Blue Sky. Please like the video, comment if you have any questions or feedback, and we will respond as appropriate as we see your comment. And then share the content to other social media platforms or others that you know to kind of help us get more engagement. I thank all of you for your patience and for just being attentive to this video and to this series. We're at step 7. We have 12 steps, so we are over the halfway mark, and we're already into seeing homes with this step of step 7. So you got to know that the other steps are much easier at this point, I would say. So you've done the hard part. Now, the documentation for buying the home might feel like a harder part for a lot of people, so I understand that. But there's a lot of work that has been done up until this point, and I hope that you found these steps to kind of make it simpler, which was the idea behind this series, to make it more of a bite-sized approach to home ownership. A lot of people that look to buy a home feel like it's overwhelming. Just the thought of a lot of the things that come with this process seem overwhelming. So I wanted to make this series to break it down to where you can do these actionable steps and you can take your time if necessary. All right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Thank you all for joining me. And I'm sorry for the visual issues, but I'm glad that we have this avatar option here on YouTube in the meantime, while StreamYard helps to figure out what's going on with the visual aspect. The audio seems to be good, but the visual, it's been a time. So I try to get on live and let you see my face, but at a certain point, the delays are just becoming a little bit much to look at for me. So I wanted to not be a distraction to you all while you're trying to gather information about how to become a homeowner. And that's the most important thing. So I'm going to leave you all now. I don't see any comments or questions in the chat, but if you have any, please put them down below. Like I said, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification bell and click all so you don't miss any content when we're live or when we post anything on this channel. And make sure that you leave any comments or questions that you might have later down in the comment section. I will reply to them as I see them. And if you have something confidential that you want to discuss, something that's more private, of course, go ahead and schedule that consultation with me at beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. You will find the tab that says Let's Talk. Click that and you will be able to schedule a consultation time with me. If you schedule a time and you're unable to attend that time, please reschedule it, because if you miss that time, you will incur a $15 no-show fee. So I will see everyone in the next video. We still have to cover Gwinnett and DeKalb counties for the month of June. And then we're going to move to different zip codes or different approach for reviewing July when we talk about that in August. I thank you all, and I have some exciting news that I'll share. I have been in another publication, my second publication for this year. The Women in Business publication came out, and I'm going to post that to the community board here on YouTube. I'm going to try to add it in the intro video, and I'm going to also post it on our social media pages. So we are getting more exposure as a business, which I'm loving and I'm glad to see. And I would love to get a referral from you all if you are enjoying our content and know someone who is interested in home ownership. So thank you all once again. This is Dreams to Keys Realty, and I'm Jalon Strong, the Essential Millennial Realtor. Have a great rest of your day and week.